I-95 right now traffic.
Thanks, Cal. 7:17 right now. Ethan and Lou here on a Tuesday.
So I blogged about the stabbing incident in New Milford at the Rocky River Inn last week, and I had mentioned in just one of the lines that I wouldn't be surprised to hear that drugs were involved because the drug problem locally, not just in New Milford, has gotten so much worse. And that became the focus of people's reaction. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of where we want to move now. And Kevin was one of the people who was very vocal on Facebook with me, going back and forth about his concerns, and you join us live in the studio now. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so when you reacted, people reacted to you
absolutely
as well. So
absolutely.
You caught some of the brunt that I got.
Yeah. Well, I've been on Facebook now about this incident. I'm from New Milford, so it's an issue that's dear to my heart. I worked for 7 years with high school kids, mentoring in the high school, so it was something that I was very familiar with, that I've had experience with, and for probably more than a year now, I've been posting concerns on the local Facebook page and going back and forth on that, and it's an issue that has to be talked about. We have to talk about this.
Yeah, there were a lot of people I felt like they were upset that we were making New Milford look bad. Both of us are New Milford residents. That's not anything you would want to do, right? I mean,
no, absolutely not. No, Milford's got a lot of good going for it.
Right.
But this is one of the black eyes that we have, and it's not just New Milford. This is a nationwide problem. It's something that has to be discussed, and people have to come to the realization that we need to do something about this situation.
And you brought with you this morning Donna DeLuca. I got that right?
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Wait, let me get your microphone on. There you go. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And you're from Newtown, you said?
I am.
And you're part of the C.A.R.E.S organization.
Yes.
Now, what does the C.A.R.E.S organization do?
The C.A.R.E.S group, C.A.R.E.S stands for Community Addiction and Recovery Education and Support, is an organization that was founded to provide parent and family member education around this whole issue involving substance abuse and addiction.
So how bad is it? I mean, you're working constantly on this. How bad is the issue locally?
Locally, the issue is as bad as it is nationally. In Connecticut alone, there has been an exponential increase in the use of opioid medication, prescription painkillers, and heroin. Recently, and it's been all over the news, the heroin deaths and overdoses where people have had to be revived has increased dramatically.
And that's usually the story, right? I mean, somebody gets prescribed opioids, and then when they run out and the doctors won't give them anymore, they buy them on the street. That becomes too expensive, and heroin's cheaper and more dangerous, and then they get into the heroin. Is that usually the story? Right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
As we know, with the increase in doctors treating pain really well over the last, I want to say, 15 years, it's been a twofold problem. So pain is being managed well, but the painkillers that are being prescribed are of, really strong dosages, and people are getting immediately hooked.
This kind of hits home for me because I have a loved one who has this issue, and the addiction situation with opioids. I mean, they're very expensive. I mean, it's tough to go to Waterbury or Bridgeport or the Bronx. You can get the opioids, you can get the painkillers, but they're expensive. And heroin, I understand, is actually incredibly cheap.
Heroin is extremely cheap in the area. I believe right now you can. I believe that say Oxycontin, an Oxycontin pill is somewhere around $1 a milligram. Okay, a bag of heroin today is $5.
Yikes.
Okay, so what's ultimately happening? Some of the things that are happening is you have a heroin addict who's trying to support their own habit, going out and buying a quantity of heroin at $5 a bag, coming back and selling it for $8 or $10 a bag just to support their own habit, and it perpetuates itself.
Well,
and
another issue with someone who's addicted to heroin is that if they're in recovery and they go to the hospital and they got some sort of condition or they've got pain, I mean they can't be prescribed painkillers
when they're in actual pain.
It's a catalyst,
right?
And the loved one that I'm speaking of, he knows that, and he will tell the doctors, you can't prescribe a painkiller for me. There's got to be other drugs that can take care of that.
What is the C.A.R.E.S organization doing to help fight this?
I myself am a mom of, I have 4 children, 2 of whom are in recovery from opioid addiction. And when I was first grappling with the problem, I had no place to turn. It was, I felt, that same thing that other parents feel, the stigma, the shame, the embarrassment. Where do I go? Where do I turn? And I found that, there's solace in getting together with other people who know exactly what I'm going through, and that's other, parents of those who are using, my kids' friends, parents. We started an organization, a nonprofit organization,